towards the end of the Hellenistic, we start falling under Roman patronage. In the beginning of the 2nd century BCE, the Romans will defeat the Macedonian army and declared Greece free. But they never actually regain their former glory. By 146 BCE, Greece becomes a Roman province. Basically, the Romans send in troops, they say, "We have freed you," and then they never really leave. This is very typical of the Romans. Greek artists remained in demand to create work in the Greek style, primarily for Roman patrons. This piece in particular is one great example. It's created by Greek sculptors, but it's found in Italy. They're going to be exporting these pieces to Rome. Again, the Romans love Greek statuary. This would be a major status symbol. If your family owned a car or owns a car today, they probably would have had at least busts carved of members of the family, but you would also see, for example, the use of slaves and possibly at least one copy of a Greek statue. Maybe not full life size, that's usually for the wealthier, but we do find them in other sizes as well, created primarily by Greek slaves and Greek artisans. But Laocoön is a Trojan priest, and we see his sons on either side. And this is a copy potentially based on a Hellenistic work. So Virgil, the Roman poet, gives an account of this story and says that Laocoön and his sons were strangled by sea serpents while sacrificing at an altar. There's more to it. So what happens is Laocoön is a Trojan, and the Trojans are all on the beach, and they're like, "Hey, what do we do with this giant wooden horse?" No one apparently thinks, "Hey, by the way, we should shove spears through it just to be safe." And we have two factions. We have people who want to just say, "You know what? It's fine. It's a gift. Let's take it in. It would be disrespectful to leave it." And on the other side, we have people going, "Let's set fire to it because it might be a trap." Well, Laocoön is on that side. He gives a speech about how it should be burned and they shouldn't trust the Greeks. Don't trust the Greeks bearing gifts. And as a consequence, Poseidon sends 2 sea serpents to kill Laocoön and his sons, which is what we're seeing here. By the way, afterwards the Trojans go, "Oh, they killed Laocoön. I guess the gods must be angry. We'll just take it inside. It's fine. Brad Pitt might be inside, but we won't worry about that." So this piece will be discovered famously during the time of Michelangelo. So he's there when they pull it out of the ground. They had found it, but then digging it out completely and making it fully visible is something that, they would have people come down for. And Michelangelo was amongst them. Here, the artist conveys a sense of agony. He's using those S curves, not just to mimic the movement of the snake, but to give that sense of movement that you would naturally expect when something happens and you're being attacked by giant sea serpents. And we see these 3 faces. The artist is really conveying agony. What he's trying to do is allow us to take on the role of any of these figures and explore how we would handle death if it were, right there and facing us. In terms of composition, the snakes bring the whole thing together as well as the movement within the piece. So what you see, if I bring up my pen here, my favorite tool, is as we enter the piece, and you would probably enter in Laocoön's body, what you're going to do is you're going to follow down his arm, the serpent, the boy's arm, to this face. That face sends us across to his brother because he wants to rescue his brother, and that's, you see he's trying to get away from the snake so he can help his brother, and his brother is looking up. And so what we do is our eye just keeps cycling through the piece over and over. Sure, maybe we go lower the next time around. Maybe we come around and then we go down around here, following the serpents up through the other brother, but we just keep cycling in the piece. It makes it very contemplative. It forces us to stand before it and really give it some serious thought.